I used to live in Eden, up in the Ogden Valley. It's half an hour from Ogden, where we are now. And I started a writers group there, sort of a writers critique group. And in the local little newspaper, the Ogden Valley News, I put an ad in the newspaper just after we arrived in Utah. And I put a little ad in saying, I'm going to start this writers group, and I invited local authors to come, and wannabe authors to come to the first meeting. And I was surprised, there was like almost 20 people there, you know. And then it sort of dwindled a little bit, because one of the things I really feel strong about is that if you want to be a writer, what do you need to do? You need to write. And I found out that a lot of people that wants to be writers never really, they go to meetings, they go to stuff, but they never get to the actual writing part. And then some people also do not like their work to be critiqued, to be read by other people and have their opinion on it. So I strongly believe, like, you know, that people should belong to writing groups and you know, so the way the critique groups work that I belong to is that you meet every second week and you're working on a new project and you hand in a chapter, and the next week another chapter, so it really encourages you to actually write. And then everyone in the group will give their input on it, and that's how you perfect your writing style and everything. So I had this little critique group, and one of the authors that came to the first meeting was Wendy Tolliver, and she's a young adult author of, you know, also living in Eden. And we decided that Eden was a perfect place to have a writers' conference. And there was a lodge in the valley called Red Moose Lodge. And we thought perfect, and we went about, we rented the place, and we thought a perfect place to have a conference in the valley was in autumn, when it's just beautiful, and also to me very inspiring as a writer that time of year. And we invited agents and editors from New York, California, and surprisingly they came, and authors from all over the country came, and it was a sold-out event, even though we could only fit about 120 people into it. But it was a wonderful experience. But the little group I had, what I call the Eden Writers Circle, we all clubbed together and we did this thing, this writer conference. And part of the conference is that every author that came had to send in, if they wanted to send in a ghost story. And then our little panel of the Eden Writers Circle will then choose the first, second, and third place of, you know, like give little awards to the best stories. And then I told the writers, you know what, you've got to practice what you preach. So if you want people coming to the conference to write stories, if we want that, you also have to have the experience of writing a ghost story. And they were all going, oh no, because some wrote memoirs, other historical novels, you know, all different, and chick lit and all different genres. Some of them never written a short story, and definitely not in the ghost and horror genre. And so that they came up the very next meeting 2 weeks later, and this was about a month before the conference. They came back to the critique meeting and they were just like so excited, because they each managed to write a ghost story. And then these stories were so wonderful. I was just amazed. And it was based on history in these, you know, Eden, Huntsville, and Liberty, and the Ogden Canyon, where they all lived. And so the stories were so amazing that I thought, I've got to put this together in a book. I've just got to do it, you know. And most of the authors these writers have never been published, and they were also excited. So that's when I did this little book. And it's, like you can see, it's called Tales from Huntsville, Eden, Liberty. And if you look at it, it's Tales from Hell. And so I managed to get some money together, and Wendy went into this with me and another writer, Linda Scott. And we put all this together, the stories, and we went to a local publisher. And we put together this little book. That's what I just love about the books, is to have all local authors do the stories, and that they went beyond the call of duty and really went and did the amazing research. So the books are a combination of really wonderful stories, very talented authors, and the history of the area.